Okay, let's have a look-see on what's going on today. It is Friday, July 10th, 1:13. Markets are still open. We have our little account here, and this one should be pretty straightforward for what our plan is to do. We still want to maintain the idea that we want to buy MSTR or MSTU under $3. Where did that go? Oops, too big. So we want to be buying under $3. We had sold the puts last week, and so we're just gonna roll those over and push them out till next Friday. The reason that we're going to do that is because we had sold these for $1.84, I believe. Oh, where is this? So we sold it for $1.84, and the current price is $2.06. So it is down $45. I don't want to start acquiring shares already down, so I'm going to roll it out and push that out for next week. So if we look at here, we are, what is this? Basically, it's down $40 at 620, and here it is down $45 in total. So we're going to roll that out. Give me this one. And we're going to roll it out to next week, which is July 17th. And we'll roll it out to that same one, that $4 one. Oh, I still have to put that on a... Do I have to do that? Why won't it let me do that? Let me do that real quick on the phone. It was easier on there. I couldn't figure out how to do it on the... I couldn't figure out how to do it on the computer. Okay, so we go in here. Because I want to roll it. I can do it the long way, but then it doesn't... It's not as, like, fluid and coherent as if I just do it by pressing the roll button. So let me go to... Here, what is this? This one right here. Okay, so now it's ready. Okay, so we're gonna go to the $4 put, and we're gonna roll that out. Let me start over. So if I come here, it's the $4 that expires today, July 10th, and then I'm gonna go to roll position, and I want the July 17th put, and we're gonna roll it out to the same $4. This one. Okay, continue. There we go. And so we have two of those. And if right now the share price is $1.86, this is $4, then that should be $2.14 instead of this $1.93. And the one that we had, where did that go? Here, this is the one that we have with the current price of... Where is MSTR? MSTU current price is $1.86. So $4 minus $2 is $2. And then minus 14 cents gets us to $1.86. So we want to sell ours for $2.14. So when we go to roll this, I want to pick this one, and I want it to roll over to $2.14. So we'll click yes and continue. And then I want it... Oh, let's just say we'll start at 10 cents here and see if it rolls over. And we want credit. We want to be credited for this. So we're not paying money. We are receiving money. And then let me check on the phone here, because it was easier to see if it went through on the phone too. It didn't show up right away. So that hasn't gone yet. If I go here, okay, and I'm going to replace this order. I want it to be the same though, the $4. Yes. Continue. And I mean, let's just say, stop putting in the 50 cents there. Let's just say 0. Just an even swap across. And credit and review and submit. Done. Let me see if that went through. Oh, that didn't go through. That's just an even swap across from this put to the next put. So I guess if that just sits there, it should go through at some point. What is the bid and the ask here? They're asking 218. The price is, where's the current MSTR price? Still 186. So yeah, that should be like $2.14 there. And where is MSTU? Where is the options for the 17th? And if we were to sell a put and we were to sell the $4 put, then the bid and the ask is essentially the same. Go 2 here. This one. Continue. 0. Okay, maybe we wait and see if that rolls over. If it rolls, then what'll happen is it will give us credit to sell this at whatever it actually goes through at, but it should be roughly $2.14, which will negate the $1.84 that we had sold it for this week and give us a new price that will expire next Friday. And so we'll just wait for that to roll out. And so, that's that. We'll see if that rolls out. And then I had already added the $200 from this Friday, and so then we're going to take care of that. We have $200, so I'm going to go to MSTU, and I'm going to go to options. We're going to sell a put, and it's going to be for next Friday, and it's going to be this $2 one. And so we have a bid and an ask 24 and 27, which is good enough. So we'll say yes, and we want to do that. And we'll have an estimated credit of $24. See if that went through. Okay, and so that went through. And then we were credited, which is why this went up here. And yeah, and so then that's it. So, this one should roll through, and we just sold a put at $2 because we had $200 from the $200 I had sent today. And so then we'll take care of this one next week and, have that go out. And this one should roll out, and it should be good for next week. And so we'll move this off to the side, and then I'm going to minimize that. And, same approach. Willing to buy under $3. I had sold the $4 puts, and what I want to see is MSTR or MSTU start to climb. And when it gets up over this $3 and starts to really push and move and get that bullish momentum behind it, then I will allow that put that I had sold to execute and have me buy 100 shares. But I'll end up buying them for $2 or $1.84 because I just sold the put, the $4 put, for $2 and let's say 14 cents. That my average will end up being $1.86. And so I want to see this come up and give some kind of confirmation that it's done getting beat up. And when it's done getting beat up, then I'll say, okay, now I'm willing to take ownership of those 100 shares. And so I'll push that out until MSTU or MSTR starts moving and building some confidence. Currently on Bitcoin, it's already starting to move. MSTR just isn't following yet. It's currently at like a 1.01 MNAV, so it's really pushing the floor for what it can do without actually moving. That if Bitcoin keeps moving, it's simply going to be forced to move up regardless. But there's like a baked-in 10% or 20% move just waiting to happen as soon as this thing rotates. Anyway, that I'm willing to continue to roll those out and wait for this to push because this is red today. I think it's also red on the week, so it's red on the week, but Bitcoin is not. Bitcoin is pushing last week and this week, and on the dailies. It's mostly green. It's ready to push. We have this when right here where the 200 is coming out of the Bollinger Bands. Everything's starting to curl up. This is really starting to move. It broke through on the MACD. This is turned bullish here. This crossed over here. Everything to me says this is ready to come up and at least find this when, and this should be around 70. Call it 71K, that MSTR is really not going to have much of a choice. It's lagging behind. It's not really going, but it has the same signals, has the crossover, has the bullish buying here, that everything on it should start moving. Potentially next week, maybe the week after that. But I had like a 5-week plan that we should be able to just see this come to fruition. This will come together. Let's go ahead and draw that out. See when we should expect that. If this was to come through here and this was to continue across, then that's actually looking like August 10th, so about 4 weeks out. But if this starts to connect early and somewhere down in here, it could be like July 20th or August 10th, somewhere in there. That we'll just keep slowly DCAing into this and trying to create the best average that we can, and potentially see this climb up on August 10th and really start pushing for that 270 to 300 type of area. So we'll just keep doing that next week and the week after that and the week after that, adding $200 to this account here, and just showing how that entire thing plays out, and we'll just play out the entire thing with MSTR. As far as the other things are going, Meta really pushed up this morning. They had some news. They're pushing. I have these marks here for where I would like to start selling calls, because this has kind of acted as resistance. But I don't actually want to sell these calls, even though it's what I had done previously, because earnings is coming up. So I don't want to sell a $700 call, something above 680, watch this thing reject down and collect the premiums off of those 700s, because earnings is coming up soon. So if there's a very large catalyst that's going to help boost this thing and get it out of the gutter, it's going to be earnings. The news helped get it out of this 1.5 standard deviations away and helped it move back up to something a little more reasonable. But I don't want to hang a call out here at, say, 700 and try to reap that premium when I've been collecting these shares for the last 9 months. And then if I have to sell all the shares that I had acquired at 700, I'm not going to be too happy about it. I'll still be profitable. My average is somewhere down here, like it's like 600 or 580 or something, that I'm still going to be extremely profitable. But I want to see that 900-ish area by the end of the year, that I don't actually want to risk selling a call here. It's not like it's an actual risk. It's still profitable. And if I sell a 700 call, I would make all of the profit from my average down here, plus whatever I had sold the call for, which we could look at that. Was that the 17th? If I sell next Friday's call and I sell it at 700, that's too many. There we go. If I sell it at 700, I could sell it for $7.50. So if I sold a call at 700, I'm basically offering to sell all of my shares for $707. And if it doesn't get there, then that call will expire worthless, and I just collect the premium. If it gets to somewhere between 700 and 707, or say 710, if it gets somewhere between 700 and 710, I can roll that call out and roll it out to, say, 720 or 730, but they have to be offering the $7 or $8 or $9 for the 730 calls at that point to continue to push that out without actually realizing a loss on it. And I would rather do that after earnings than before earnings, because if there's a monstrous move coming, it's coming on earnings. And if that call at $7 ends up after earnings changing this price to 740 or 800, I'm not going to be able to roll that call up $100. Like I'm not going to have access to that. If it hits 800 and then I try to find a call that has $100 of value in it, I'm not going to be able to find that. I would have to go out 3 or 4 years to find anything with that kind of value. Let's just go ahead and look. If I go to December of 2028 and we just scroll down, there are $100 here for a 1130 price on Meta. But if I'm expecting 900 this year, then 1,000 or 1,100 the year after that is pretty reasonable. And I would never be able to roll this out far enough with a good enough premium to have it make sense, that I don't want to get stuck there when earnings is coming. So I would rather wait for the other side of earnings, have that move either happen or have it not happen and track sideways, but have this major catalyst that's going to prove who Meta is as a company first, and then I'll sell calls. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to wait on this, even though it had this move that I had sold calls here on previously. I don't want to do that here. I'm going to wait, and it's going to be about 3 weeks, July 29th. So what is that, 19 days away? Then we'll see how Meta's behaving. If it's in a good place, say it doesn't move anywhere on earnings, or it goes down, or it does whatever it does. If it goes down, then it's just business as usual. I'll just keep buying it. If it moves up after earnings, then we can see where it is on the chart and try to pick out a good price target to sell calls up here, but that's after the catalyst has happened. And if it goes completely parabolic and comes all the way up to 875 or so, then we can really start addressing what we want to do with Meta then. But basically, this move is cool. It puts us all severely in the green based on our average, and it makes it easier to hold. Buying is done here on Meta. That was like the 675. Anything below 675 was like the price that we wanted to buy it at. This is close enough. We're just going to take this into earnings and really do nothing with it. But that did happen today, so I wanted to address it. And then I don't think anything else had really moved. Meta or Apple is still high. AMD is high. Amazon's not really viable here. I did get some previously heading into earnings, but nothing really to talk about there. Google is kind of consolidating sideways here, it looks like. And I did pick up some here, but we'll see if it consolidates sideways and then pushes after earnings. That's kind of a wait and see type of thing. We already talked about Meta, and it has this huge gap here, but it just completely blew through this gap, which is the gap that I had previously been selling calls into. Was that if it rejected in this gap, I could sell calls up into here in this area, and then it just rejects down, and those expire worthless, and I collect the premium, and then I use that premium to fund my buying of other things on Fridays. But I don't actually want to sell this call or this call here because earnings is coming up. Microsoft, nothing really too much happening with that. Still just purely a buy, even on the weekly here. Just purely a buy every Friday. So I'll continue to buy this going all the way into earnings. Earnings is the 29th as well, same as Facebook. We already covered MSTR. And Netflix is obviously still a buy. It has this large when coming here that I would expect to see it start coming out of its gutter and get up to like the 96 region all the way up to 108. And then we try to find some fair and reasonable pricing at 130 to 150. And that's also the previous all-time highs is 134. So if it gets to new all-time highs or it gets even close to that, then it's going to push for it. We'll go north of 134 and try to find 150 out of it. Still expecting this to happen by the end of the year and still expecting earnings to come out well and be the catalyst that moves us. It just hasn't done it the last, 6 months or so. It hasn't been the true catalyst to help it find its feet and help it climb up. So we'll just be looking for this earnings, which is next week. That'll be the 16th. Let's look at the calendar here. Calendar says that'll be next Thursday. So we'll be looking at Netflix next Thursday, which will also kind of line up with this signal here as a when to try and get out. And then what do we expect it to do on earnings? At least get to 96, try to find 107, and then start some kind of bullish climb to get back up to real and reasonable pricing instead of being an entire, 1.5 standard deviations away from the mean and tickling the long-term 200 week average. So that will be the plan here with Netflix. Get out of the gutter, start climbing up. I don't think there's really anything else to look at. Nvidia got back up over 200, and Tesla's moving back up again. Just kind of tracking and sitting sideways, but basically fair value here on the mean line at 420. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's the video. We can check and see here. That hasn't rolled yet. Sometime between now and market close, I expect that to roll over. So, we'll just assume that that's what happened, and that'll be the video. That's it. So rolled those out, and we'll check it out again next week.